Sweet, we're on. Welcome everybody. This is our 9th update, which is, I think that's accurate. It is April 16th, and we are in our 3rd week of our CSA. We've been cranking pretty hard now for since January, and even with several frosts and heavy drought conditions, we're still doing pretty well. We've kind of updated our farm methodology, if you will, and gone no-till, which really increases our ability to hold moisture in the soil. And we're using a lot of compost from Sundance Soil. If you're in the Mariposa area, go check him out. It's Todd Ronan, runs it. He's been hooking us up. Well, I mean, we're doing business, but he's been bringing us some delicious soil, and I'll show you some of that in a minute. But first, we have our ladies in here somewhere. I'm not quite sure. Oh, there's one. The chickens are all grown. They're about 2, maybe 3 months old now. This time of day they hide. You can see all the radishes on the ground that they've been pecking at. But I don't... Oh, there they are. They're all hiding underneath. I don't know if you can see them. There's a couple of them right there. Hey ladies. I don't know if you can see them, but they're under there. And then the rest are probably hiding in here from the heat. They've decimated all the plants in their enclosure, which is good because they're eating, they're foraging. There they go. They're all sitting back there in the corner, cooling off. It's about 80 degrees today. So, hey, there you are. Don't go anywhere. Don't go outside. They're attempting to escape every time I open this gate up. Simply because I think they're cooped up. Yeah, it's been a long season. Finished our pond here. Acquired the slate from a recent rock fall over by Mid-Pines. So it's a nice, cool reprieve in the afternoon to sit by it, and offers a nice break. You know, like today when it's 81, and there's some slight humidity. I know you East Coasters will laugh, but I think it's like 30% humidity, and that's pretty high. So, yeah, it's sticky for me. Anyway, yeah, so we're cranking along. Coming out of the cool weather season here, so you know, there are no frosts occurring. At least we hope that none will occur, because we've got a lot out here, and I think a lot of people would be upset if their food suddenly went down the tubes. But over here, I think I had started these mounds last update, which is about a month and a half ago, and these are all fresh compost mounds. So this is some of that soil that Todd has been bringing us, fully broken down mixture of organic material, not certified organic, but just literally organic material, with probably some manure. And then we also have some broken down manure mounds like this that we're experimenting with from some of the horse farms in the area. But all in all, there's several, I think there's close to 120 squash mounds out there, with most of which have squash in them. They did get hit pretty hard during the freeze, but they're slowly coming back. They look like this because the frost took them out. A lot of them are little nubs. Hopefully they didn't get stunted too much during that frost. I didn't have time to cover them all because I was busy protecting our potatoes, which are all freshly no-till composted here. So the whole, you may be asking, what does that actually mean? Here's our wild hedgerow of just wild oat grass and spear grass and flowers and things like that. But if you're asking, like, what does no-till mean? It means we're not hitting it with the tiller. You know, we just basically put this organic, should stop calling it that, this compost material down in place of trying to, like, turn the soil to, like, oxygenate it, to stir in the green manure, which is like the grasses and the weeds that you kill and turn under. The nice thing about this is it keeps weeds down. We haven't really weeded these rows in 2 weeks, and some of you might be thinking, what? But yeah, we don't really weed much anymore. It's more of like this. Let me see if I can find one. It's pulling, where you get a little thistle like this on the side, and you just come through and you just find the base of it. You don't want to pull the soil up from underneath, because that's the soil that we're covering that has the weed seed in it, and then you just throw it off to the side. And our walkways do have some rogue plants growing, and I do try and clean them up, and I'll walk over to a row where I'm doing that right now. And that can be slightly laborious, but it's less laborious than having to do that and tilling and weeding the row every week. With tilling operations, you either have to use pesticides or herbicides, sorry, to keep down the weeds, or you just let them grow, you know. So with us, since we don't spray, we have to weed each row, and then they grow back pretty quickly around here. So here's an example of where I've gone down the row and I've cleaned it up. I basically use this medieval looking tool here and just hand by hand, all the way down, clean it up, and then toss the greens into the middle. We haven't composted this row yet, but this row next to it is composted, so you can see the difference. Non-compost, compost, green manure, compost, soon to be compost. And it's a great workout working with the wheelbarrow. You're doing a lot of these shoulder lunges and all kinds of fun stuff. You get a good workout throughout the day. Here's the next row that we're going to clean up, this walkway here, so we can clean up these beans. I'm going to do that right after the video. So yeah, down here, can you see it? Yeah, is the garlic. And we have our poppies growing in and among the garlic. There's an orange poppy there, and then we have yellow poppies here as well, which is really cool. And I don't know if you can see in there, there is a tiny little spider. We leave these, what one might call weeds, A, because of the state flower and they're protected, but also because they bring in beneficial predator invertebrates, spiders for example, wasps, and a variety of other things that, flies, things like that, that come in and eat all the bad bugs, if you will, the ones that want to eat our food. I shouldn't say bad, but the ones who are looking at our greens and going, yum. This garlic right here is almost ready. We'll probably be pulling it within the next week or two and offering bulbs, garlic bulbs in our CSA and at the market. Kind of cool. We have some peas here that are starting to finally grow. They've been in the ground for about 2 months and they've kind of picked up their growing speed. Here's some more potatoes, some more garlic. We have our broccoli rows right here with little baby broccoli heads in there, and then our red cabbage row. These 2 rows are getting hit pretty hard with gophers, so we are doing our best. Some lettuces and some onions that we're going to give this week in the CSA. Green onions, that is, not storage onions. Some storage beans, and then we're on the other side here. So, pretty good. And here are the onions that'll be ready in the fall, which is kind of nice. And our peas, which are really exciting because we have shelling peas. I don't know if you can see down here. So this is one. I'm going to harvest a bunch in a bit, but some of you may like peas. And the cool thing about this is you pop them open like so, and then inside are little peas. And they are the most, sorry, I'm trying to open it right now with one hand. You'll get, you know, a couple little peas in there. This one's tiny, usually there's like 7. You're hoping for 7. And, super sweet. I mean, like the sweetest thing you'll taste out of a pea. And then you got the pod. Throw it, it'll go in compost somewhere. You guys know the hoop house. Things are coming along in here, nothing crazy or fancy. And the other hoop house. We will be building a cob greenhouse, so like a mud hut house, this fall to basically prolong our winter growing season, so we can put our tomatoes and things in there and they'll keep warm via thermal mass heating. You know, the walls will hold heat that they collect all day via sunlight and emit that throughout the night, keeping the hoop house really warm. We will keep these hoop houses too. Our avocados are coming back. They got hit really hard during the frost. I know, it's like the frost. There's our little one there. This house needs to be weeded and composted, and our lemon and lime tree. And these tomatoes have been growing wild. This was tomato, and all of our peppers. But this was our tomato house last year, and a lot of tomatoes on the ground, and the seeds just started growing, and so we're gonna keep going with tomatoes in there. But they've been growing since like late January, which is really cool. We have lots of herbs in our new shade house here. Lettuces, kales, cilantros, and parsleys. More tomatoes and chard that we'll be selling at Spring Fling in El Portal in a couple weeks. And then all of our strawberries here. You can see lots of delicious strawberries. We're collecting, I don't know, roughly a pint to 4 pints every day, which is pretty good. We'd like to be doing more, but you know, it takes time. They're brand new. I mean, the plants are barely like 3 months old, so you gotta do what you can. We've got okra here. I don't know if you've ever eaten okra, but from the south, I'm sure you have. But we get so hot here that we think it should love it. I'm just fixing the irrigation lines right now because when it gets hot like this, they tend to wiggle around and don't water in straight lines. So yeah, all in all, we're doing really well, and things are cranking. You know, there's more over there. I don't need to take you over there. It's just greens and strawberries and raspberries and blackberries and things like that. One cool thing that we are doing, that I will show you, is using this plastic, and the plants, I know plastic is controversial, but we are finding that it's holding so much moisture underneath of the soil that we're not having to water as much, which is, around here, you know, that outweighs the cost of plastic, if you ask me. But we are interplanting tomatoes with lettuce so that the tomatoes, they do things in the soil for the lettuce, and vice versa. They also bring in parasitic wasps and things like that, like things that pollinate the flowers and eat things that are on the lettuce. And then in the summertime, when they're big, they'll actually shade the lettuce, so we don't have to use artificial shade netting. Kind of cool. They will compete for nutrients, but as long as the soil has compost in it, things, in theory, will be fine. We did just compost our fruit trees too, so all of the trees here have brand new mounds of delicious soil. This is our cherry tree, or maybe that's our plum. I think that's our plum. But all the trees just going out over that way. Small orchard, nothing fancy. So yeah, things are going well, and we're just moving right along. But I just wanted to give a great shout out to all those who've been coming down and helping out and supporting. There have been a lot of people who have come out, whether they've been woofers or just friends who love to weed. I know that sounds weird, but they exist and have come down and helped us out a lot. We've been busy, and we'll be busy for a long time. So thanks so much. Have a good time, and we'll see you next time. All right.